Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, April 24th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, one last thing. And it looks like we're good. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link is sent out. All right. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Let's go up to the daily chart. All right, there, 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 and there. Going down to the 8 hour. Going down to the 4 hour. Going down to the 2 hour. Going down to the 1 hour. Going down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10 minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, April 24th. It is 6:27. Market's gonna open in about 3 minutes. I've just marked up liquidity over here. The closest level of liquidity above is going to be at 38,753. There's another level right above it. And the closest level below is going to be at 38,651. ATR is currently at 9 right now, so it's pretty much normal ATR. We don't have any abnormal movements here pre-market. I'm going to go over here to the clean chart. I'm going to mark up 6:30, mark up 8 o'clock. I'm going to go up to the 4 hour time frame, identify structure. So we got structure up here. We got structure right here. Structure right there. And we have structure down here. Let's go over to the 1 hour time frame. Got structure right here. And it looks like we are good to go. All All right. So we got 4-hour resistance level up here. And we've got, it's pretty far down, 1-hour support level down here. All right, cool. So we got liquidity. I mean, not liquidity. We have liquidity market over here. Closest level is at 38,753. Closest level below is going to be at 38,651. We have the levels of support resistance here, not close to price at all. Going over to news price, I believe we had news this morning. News at 4 o'clock and 5:30. We have more news at 7:30, and that's about it. So 4, 5:30, 7:30. So 4 o'clock, this big candle right here. 5:30 and 7:30 later today. All right, so we're good to go, guys. Market's gonna open in about 10 seconds. Morning, Sadie. Morning, Jacob. Morning, Delicia. Morning, CJ. Morning, Maria. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, market is about to open right about now. Market is now open. So it's market opening price right here. Opening price right there. We have a possible PRB setting up over here for a buy. The trend hasn't confirmed yet, so we can't look for the entry at this moment, but looks like it is setting up right here. We also have a breakout V3 setting up right here as well. There's a double body rejection on this current candle. We got the liquidity over here as well setting up. Price comes back down lower. A lot of entries here setting up. They're not ready yet, but they are setting up. I don't know why this one here is frozen. These charts look completely different. Let me refresh this. Yeah, for some reason that clean chart wasn't updating. Here, let me just update all my charts real quick to make sure there's no issues with the candle movement here. Seems like a lot of these are lagging. It's kind of weird. All right. So it looks like we're good to go. It was lagging for like a moment there. Just refreshed trading view. All right, so it looks like we might be switching down to a possible sell. These candles are moving kind of crazy, guys. So it's moving very blocky. I'm looking at both NinjaTrader and TradingView. Yeah, it's moving super, super blocky right now. This thing is dumping down super heavy. The trend is now shifted to a sell. I don't know what's going on. This thing is dumping pretty crazy right now. So we had some breaking news over here. It says NASDAQ rises for a third day as Tesla rallies after earnings. But I mean, other than that, it's dumping pretty hard. We don't have news till 7 o'clock, 7:30, which is going to be gas stock change, nothing big. Retail sentiment's currently 62% short. Let's go back to the chart. All right, so the trend just shifted to bearish. So the PRB could be setting up right here. We have the first rejection off the pivot right here. This is actually the breakout V3. I don't know if anybody caught it, but it like literally came up and then it spiked down super hard. Actually, I don't think this would be the entry because the momentum signal came up on the double body right there. All right, liquidity down below got hit. Huge spike. I mean, I wouldn't have taken any entries at that point because that's when the candles were moving kind of funky. But there goes the liquidity. First level right there got hit. Here's our clean chart. Once we have like some sort of structure, then I'll come back and I'll mark up structure over here on the 1 minute. But right now, we don't really have anything. This price just keeps moving back and forth super heavily. All right, so the PRB over here is setting up for an entry for a sell. We currently don't have one yet. We have the first rejection there. You're now looking for the space consolidation candle, which is not up yet. So still waiting for that there. Still waiting for this here also to confirm. We got the candle here kind of retracing a little bit. All right, so it looks like it's starting to stabilize a bit. Price kind of went a little crazy there for the first couple of minutes of open, which happens sometimes. And now it's starting to stabilize here again. So we're just going to sit tight and wait for this here to stabilize. Once it stabilizes, we'll start looking for some possible entries. So no update on CNBC. All right, so we might get another shift in trend over here. There's no trend currently, so there's no entries for us to take here at the moment. PRB could still be setting up. The trend hasn't shifted up. It's still bearish, but I mean, it can shift back up. As you can see, these green candles are coming up pretty heavy. All right, let's take a look at overall bias for today. So currently retail sentiment is 63% short. This indicates that 63% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently down 18 points right now. So it's pretty much neutral at the moment. Looking over here at the technicals. So the 1 minute's currently neutral, 5 minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish, 30-minute is bullish neutral. 1 hour is bullish, and the 4 hour here is bullish neutral as well. So there's a mix of bias right now. There's not really much of a directional bias. It's kind of just going back and forth at the moment. So you can see here, price is attempting to come back down. PRB could be setting up still because we had the rejection here. We have the space consolidation candles here. So now that price is below the pivots, if price swings up temporarily and comes back down, this could be an entry for a PRB. So the PRB setting up, this could also be setting up for a possible sell as well for momentum divergence. If we get a sell signal soon, we can get a sell signal, it'll set up for a pivot scalp. If it aligns with the momentum divergence, it could be a possible good opportunity. Also, you can look for the breakout V3 continuation to happen as well. So I personally would probably look for the breakout V3 continuation, not necessarily the pivot scalp for, multiple reasons. So the PRB is setting up right here, guys. If this candle here closes with a wick rejection off the top, this is going to be the PRB entry. Not going to take this. I'll be looking for the scalps to follow, but this is going to be a possible setup for the PRB. I mean, it's a tricky market right here. You can see how these candles are not really moving too smoothly. It's about 20 seconds left on this candle. It's a lot of time. So this can easily just shift back down and reject off the pivot right there. So what I'm looking for here is a possible sell signal. If we get a sell signal, then we can maybe possibly follow this down further. If not, then the trend might shift here if this candle closes green. So there's no PRB here because the candle did not close with the rejection off the top. All right, so we're starting to get a shift in trend right now. If we're getting that shift in trend, then there might not be a PRB anymore because the PRB might be shifting for a possible buy. So we'll continue to follow this here until we have something here that actually comes up smoothly, then we'll start looking, but at this moment, nothing else here. CJ mentioned there's a high-low momentum scalp that hit full TP. It was right here on this lower low. So this lower low came up, this buy signal broke and closed past the pivots 1 and 2, and this would have been the entry for a for a high level momentum scalp right there if anybody decided to take that. So nice work on catching that right there, CJ. All right, just gotta sit tight. As we climb up over here, we're going to be cutting against a lot of these red flags. So there's not going to be too much for us to really look at or take here. Or if price swings back down, then that might be the case. So we got the structure here, actually. Let me go to our clean chart. I'm going to mark up structure here on the 1 minute now. So we have structure that's established. 1 minute resistance, 1 minute support. So we got the resistance level right there. So here's a range right now, guys. This is pretty much a repeat of Monday. If you guys remembered, I mentioned price is probably going to range this week and did the same thing yesterday. It was a little more messy, but right here, it's a lot more clean. So you can see where the range is currently at. It's between these two levels here, 1 minute resistance and 1 minute support. Same thing that happened on Monday. So just be a little patient with your entries. You can probably trade within the range, but you have to wait for the confirmation of a trend. So it looks like the trend could be shifting back to bearish right here. There's a pending sell signal. Didn't actually close. But yeah, if this here closes with a sell signal, this could start setting up for a possible breakout V3 continuation. I want to see the momentum divergence here cross over. So I actually want this to be a pretty decent red candle. If it doesn't close as a decent red candle, then you probably want to sit out and wait for it to actually confirm. Because I mean, it's just a tricky market, as you guys can see. Price is just going sideways. You can see over here in the clean chart, it's pretty obvious. You know, you can get caught in fake outs in both directions. So you want to have like a decent red candle there before you start looking for any possible opportunities. Because you can see the divergence here is still shifting up. And you can see where price is having trouble getting past, right? Having trouble getting past this news price right here. So this is why I remember what I recommended yesterday, that you should be careful when price is near, you know, these obvious red flags. So we got the sell signal right there. If this candle here closes red, this is going to be a breakout V3 continuation. It's also going to confirm a momentum divergence confluence as well. So if this candle here closes red, I'll take this here as an entry for a sell for a breakout V3 continuation plus momentum divergence confluence as well. But again, you got to wait for the candle to close. It has 30 seconds left on it. It's a lot of time. The ATR is currently at 20 right now, so that's pretty decent. Just look at a lot of time here, 20 seconds. It's got to for sure close red. If it's like bouncing between red and green, I'm not going to take it. So it's not looking like it's going to close here. We'll see. No, it's not looking like it. All right, so no entry there. All right, we're stuck in this range, typical range that we were expecting. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. Just got to wait for this here to confirm. All right, so we've got the PRB here still starting to try to set up. There is a double body right here. So there's a double body right there. This could set up for another breakout V3 to the upside if we have that confirmation of, you know, swing back to the upside. Right now we don't, but as you guys can see, price is just sitting in between this range right now. So it's going back and forth. You can still trade within the range, but you know, obviously it's kind of tricky. I wouldn't even consider this range. This is just consolidation here. So I wouldn't mess with this. You can see price is actually starting to squeeze here. So you guys can see the squeeze in price. It's going to break out eventually. It's got deleted. So he's at 7:30. All right, so there's a possible buy signal right here. This could be setting up for a possible breakout V3 right there. I'm not sure if you guys want to consider this a breakout V3. It's kind of tricky because this happened right on the opening candle actually. And it was like right at that specific double body. So I probably wouldn't consider this the breakout V3. This would probably be the breakout V3 that you want to follow if you're looking to take it. So I'll mark it up right here. This is a possible breakout V3 setting up. I wouldn't, well, I'm personally not going to take it, but if you guys want to take it, I'm marking it up for you guys. Or it might not even happen right here. See how price just keeps pulling back to the pivots. Just a ton of red flags up here. So that's why I'd be careful. But if you guys want to take it, feel free to take it. I just find it to be very risky of an entry. No PRV here. The trend is starting to shift again. So if the trend shifts, then we'll have to look for another opportunity. Yeah, like Patricia says, too close to the sessions. Not something I personally want to mess with. And it's not looking like it's going to close anyways. Red candle right there. All right, we're in a pretty strong consolidation range right here. You guys can see it's pretty obvious. I mean, we can go to the clean chart. We can just look here on the regular chart. It's in a pretty strong range, and I don't expect price to go anywhere anytime soon. So the PRB here might actually finally set up. If this candle closes red right here, this could be a PRB for a sell, because you can see the trend here never really shifted. It stayed below. So we had the rejection right here. We had the space consolidation candle right here and right here. This right here would be the PRB entry if it closes. So if this here closes, this is a PRB entry for a sell. For anyone who's looking to take that there. I'm not going to take it. I'll wait for another opportunity for me to get in. But I'm just marking it up for you guys there. This price is still in this range consolidation, so it's not really a good area for me personally to want to trade in. All right, so still nothing here. We do have the bearish trend here with regard to the pivots, but as you guys can see, price is still sitting in this range consolidation, which is not really a good area to be trading in right now specifically. Yeah, exactly. Drew said price doesn't know where to go. Yeah, it's literally what's happening. There's like no direction here at all. Price just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. The main thing here to look at would be the news price. So you can see how price is having trouble getting past news here. This is where the manipulation is happening. This is why I don't trade around any of these horizontal lines. So I don't trade at any of these red flags because you guys can see how obvious the manipulation is. You can see here price initially on open try to get past the sessions in open and news price over here. And then it has trouble now getting past news price down here. So it's just the same thing, trickiness of how this stuff's moving. The PRV is currently running right now, Rashida. So it's currently running right there in profit. That is the PRV right there. It came up on the following candle. So right here, we have a possible pivot scalp coming up if anybody wants to take it. This could be decent, but the problem with this here is that that this momentum signal could keep disappearing, right? So what I'd be looking for here next is I'll be looking for a possible breakout V3 continuation, not necessarily the momentum scalp or pivot scalp, because you guys can see how it keeps disappearing right here. But I'd probably look for more so the breakout V3 continuation to follow. So, I mean, this could be a pivot scalp if anybody's looking to take it. But again, this candle here could just, I mean, the momentum can just disappear at the last second, which is, that's what I'm worried about. See, like that. I would hate to get into the position. I enter it and I'm like, crap, I'm not supposed to be in this position here. So that's why I probably hold off on that. And I would look for the following candle. But like I said, there's nothing here for us to really work with. So the PRV is still running right now, looks like. Looks like it's about to hit CP too. It's on its way down. All right, so there's no sell signal, no entry here yet. I mean, price is still in this range consolidation. So looks like we're getting a double body rejection off this this support. So this could be a V1 variation. This could be a push right back up. There is so we have a support right there. That's a 1 minute support. There is another lower low here with a double body rejection. So if this candle closes green, this could be basically a double bottom off the support level. Yeah. So it's basically a V1 variation of confluence. You can see over here, there's two V1s, or actually there's no two V1s. This is just a lower low. So it's basically just a V1 off of a support level. But again, it's kind of tricky. Like I said, I don't know if it's something I'd mess with. Yeah, CJ said that momentum signal is giving bipolar right now, literally. Yeah, so we got the sell signal coming up right here. Sadie said V1 needed pending buy, not sell. Yeah, exactly. You need the pending buy. I was just saying it was a pattern. So like the pattern was a V1 pattern rejecting off the support level, but it wasn't a V1 I'd take also because the trend is bearish, right? So I wouldn't take that trade regardless, but you can see here it would have played out. It's just a basic price action. So like I was identifying price action right here because you had the reversal pattern and it was bouncing off the support level. So you don't have to trade this way, but if you're trading both directions, the reversal pattern kind of gives you that confirmation. And that's exactly what happened here, right? So double body rejection off the lower low. It was off this lower low right here. And it was a clean rejection pattern. So if you want to trade in both areas, like in both directions, especially in a market like this, right? If the market's going sideways, like say, for example, you're taking, like this would be a CV entry. So this is a CV entry that you could take because like I said, the CV entry works in both directions, right? You can take CV entries in a range. Like this is a perfect type of market for a CV entry. And this is like the one that you would take here because there's so many confluences here. It's a lower low, it's a red candle, and there's a small green candle next to it. And then on top of that, it was rejecting off the support level. So that's like 4 confluences in one. So yeah, just using that as an example. So like when the market starts to slow down and we have like this rangy type market, you'll understand that, okay, I can probably take trades like this. It's going to be risky, but you know, they do play out pretty well, especially if you know what you're looking for. All right, so we got a shift in trend over here. Nothing really else happening at this moment. Shift in trend. We have another double body right here. So another double body right here, possibly if this candle closes red. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. All right, so we got the double body right there. But I mean, realistically, price is just going back and forth between the range. So the thing is, price hasn't tested this upper range yet. So what you could look for here is possibly for price to push up and then do the same thing off there, right? Look for the double body rejection off the structure. And it can possibly do the same thing back into the range. So there's no double body there anymore. Take this off as well. Market really hasn't done anything today. It's just going back and forth. So there's like truly no direction here. This is like a classic range. There's just nothing going on. There's no fake outs. It's really just sitting within the range. Typically, you'll see fake outs. Like you'll see price kind of come down a little bit, lure in sellers, fake out, come back up, lure in buyers, fake out, come back down. But it's not really doing anything. It's kind of just sitting in between the range. So this is actually a pretty clean range for the most part. If this higher high gets established, the range could be getting tighter, but it looks like it's not. So it's pushing up there. It's now currently testing the resistance level up here. We'll see if it actually pushes or if it fakes out and comes right back down. The thing that you typically want to look for is just the fake out. You don't really care about the rejection. You care about the fake out. So I actually want price to push out of here, fake out, and come back down. If you have this fake out up here, then you know for sure price is going to come back into the range. So this right here could be another CV entry if this candle closes red. It's not exactly the CV I'd be looking for because I would like it to be a double body like this one down here, but this here could be another CV entry. So we have a high with a green candle, a red candle here, which is probably going to be smaller than this green candle. It's going to be in a bunch of red flags over here, but if it does play out like it should, then it'll probably pull back into the range down here. Typically, that's what should happen. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but typically that's usually what would happen, unless this candle closes too big and it's no longer a CV. So right there, you can see the candle is a little big. This might not even be a CV entry, but it's rejecting directly off opening price. You guys can see that the fake out happened right here. Price pushed up to the sessions, opening price, faked out, and odds of it pulling back down are very likely. If it closes red, which it didn't. So the candle there did not close red. And you can see how these candles are very tricky. It's very, there's a lot of manipulation going on here in this area. Because you can see this candle was a huge red candle, and at the last second came right back up. So again, this is a reason why you don't trade around these red flags. Because the last thing you want to do is get caught in these fake outs. Yeah, exactly. Nick said psych move. Basically came down and was like psych, came back up. And now it's up here. All right, so I mean, I'm hoping we get some movement here. Otherwise, so if price pushes up higher, I'm okay with price pushing up higher, but I want it to push up here because I'll only trade up here. Or if it pushes back down, it'll need to push down to here because I'll only trade down here. So I don't care where price goes. I'll trade in either direction, but I want it to be away from all of these red flags. Let's see, Rashida said there's equal highs at upper level liquidity. So she's looking for a buy. Let's see. Yeah, I can see that right here, right? Pretty much lines up with liquidity. So like I said, if price pushes up to that area, I'm okay with trading up there. Price just needs to be away from the red flags. So it does line up with what you're looking at up here. It's got to reach those highs. But we'll see if price ever has, any luck getting past this area. It's just not really looking like it right now. There's no BB3s. Price has not gone past the resistance level. So here he goes, it pulls back into the range. Nothing new. Same old. So yeah, price is really respecting the range here. You can see the respect right there. You can see the respect right there. There's no fake outs. It's just coming back into the range. So we have a possible breakout V3 pattern, setting up here, but there's no bearish trend. So obviously I would not take this trade. I mean, it would have been nice, but it's okay. I'll probably look for a possible momentum divergence if it does come up at some point. Or actually maybe no breakout V3 here. It's just pulling back into the upper level. So still within the range, but yeah, exactly. CJ said price is going zone to zone. It's literally what's happening. So I don't know if we'll get that red candle there. Maybe, maybe not. Either way, there's no entry here. So we got the red candle, but there's still no entry here because the trend is not bearish right now. It's currently going back and forth. So what I'm looking for here now is I'm looking for a momentum divergence. I think that'll probably be one of the entries that I'll be looking for here. So I'd like price to kind of push down a little bit, retrace up, and then come back down. So that we can get the swing and divergence over here. You guys can see the divergence is looking pretty good. It's just, you just got to catch it. So it's swinging up right here. I don't want it to swing up yet because it pulls back into this, this red flag area. So I wanted it to push down here so I can be in this open area to trade in, but I mean, it's not really looking like it. Price is coming back to retest the resistance up there, possibly. So what I would like here is I would like a buy signal to come up. I'd like a buy signal to come up and then continuation back down. So buy signal come up, and then when it comes back down, we'll get that sell signal, and then we can possibly set up for a breakout B3 continuation or something like that. Some sort of setup. 7 o'clock, so we still got a lot of time here. We got news at 7:30, but it's low impact. It's just gas stock change. There's no update from the fundamentals here. The fundamentals are still pretty much flat neutral right now. They're negative 21. Yeah, the news event over here just it's gas stock change, crude oil stock change. Happens every Wednesday, so nothing special. Retail sentiment is pretty much the same. I don't think it's changed at all. Still at 62% short. Yeah, Brock said he remembers last week I mentioned a trading view is kind of delaying the entries. It did it on Monday and it was freaking awful. Yeah, there was a lot of slippage on Monday, Brock. I mean, even with our normal entries. So, I mean, if there's slippage to the actual broker, there's for sure probably more slippage through trading view. So, yeah, just be careful with that. I mean, I got like half profit. If you guys have seen my profits for the week so far, I pretty much got half profits on both of my trades. We took 2 trades this week, currently at 12,000 for the day, or this was yesterday, and 22,000 for the week. But these are all half profits. I should have been up 2,000 for the week per trade or per account. And it happens. That's just typically the cue to be careful in the market. The ATR is currently at 20, so the market, the candles are moving. It's just they're not moving directional. They're going back and forth. ATR is currently at 19. We have a trend that's starting to shift back down again, which is completely fine. All right. Trying to see if there's any patterns here, but there's not really much. CJ mentioned, yeah, there's a high level momentum that came up again right here. So there's a higher high. This strategy is actually really good for this type of market. It's just there's a lot of red flags here. So there's a higher high here. This red sell signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2. And this here would have been an entry for a high level momentum scalp. There's just a ton of red flags here. So obviously not one that I would mess with or even think about taking. But there's just not really much of a direction here. So during these sideways type markets, there's 2 strategies that typically work very well. It would be the high level momentum scalp because it's meant for a ranging market. I created that a couple Decembers ago, a couple winters ago, I think 2 years ago during December when the market just kept going sideways. And then the CV entry. There's only one CV entry that actually came up though, is this one down here. I wouldn't have taken it because it was against the trend, but it's just a CV pattern that you'd be looking for. I mean, there might be another one that might come up here, but I mean, there's no telling with this type of market. So we're getting a bullish push again. We'll see if the trend actually holds. So the trend has been bullish since about 655. It's been trying to push up, but it has trouble getting past all of these red flags right here. Back to the clean chart, you can see price is attempting to retest the 1-minute resistance level up here. All right, so the resistance sits up here. It sits pretty much in line with all of these red flags. Still nothing going on there, but we do have the trend starting to shift to the upside. Again, I'm not going to take any trades until price pushes like way up here. So I got some time. to wait until it actually does. This is a breakout V3 continuation that's starting to set up right here. If anybody is looking to take it, I personally won't take it because it's touching so many red flags here. It's touching the session, it's touching opening price, probably going to touch the news price right here. But this here would be a breakout V3 continuation. Looks like it could be good because the divergence here is shifting up. But again, I wouldn't take it because of these red flags. This is just a whole area of manipulation right here that I personally wouldn't mess with. It's just not a good area to be getting caught up in. Because you can get lucky. The thing is, you can get lucky and you can hit your trade, but you can also get unlucky and price can just reverse on you. So it looks like it probably is going to hit. But again, not one I would personally take and not one I'd recommend. Yeah, exactly. Say you said one good trade, we can wait. And you guys can see over here how price is getting manipulated again. Pretty typical for the sessions right here. All right, so price again right here rejected directly off the resistance. So there's not really many fake outs happening here or any fake outs at all. It's really just, it's respecting the resistance levels. So price comes up, bounces off, price comes up, bounces off. If price pushes past the resistance, then you can consider that a fake out, but it just hasn't happened yet. So again, right here, you can see how price is having trouble getting past this purple line. This is the Asia low. Shut your boy Barney. So I was expecting a range, but I wasn't expecting it to be like this clean of a range. I actually like it when it fakes out. So personally, I like it when price fakes out because you can catch the correction, right? You can see when price pushes out of the range and then it pulls back in. For this here, this is like I mean, it's like a textbook range. There's nothing really going on here. It's really just staying within this area. It's not consolidation. It's so wide, and there's ATR that's like pretty high, but yeah, I mean, it's just a range. And I can't even draw smaller ranges within the range because the higher high is already at the resistance. So I can't draw another resistance there. I can't draw another support here because it literally goes to the range points. All right, so let's see if it attempts to make a break past the resistance. So when it breaks past resistance here, we'll look for two things. We'll look for the fake out or we'll look for the continuation. So if it fakes out, then you can possibly look for an opportunity back into the range. If it continues, then you can look for a possibility of taking a continuation move, right? So main thing is to look for price to break out of this resistance right here. There we go. So we have price breaking out of it. We kind of want it to push outside. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to break outside of this resistance and actually close out there. I want to see some movement out here because this movement here is going to determine whether price pulls back into the range or whether it continues to climb up higher. All right, price is pushing out of the red flag area over here. All right, we're getting a push up right here. Let's see if it's not past the point yet. It's trying to. All right, so we got that push up right there. So here's where the manipulation might happen, or the fake out might happen right here at the session. So we got the London high up there. Price is trying to get past this area, which is the resistance level. So just pay attention to this area right here, guys. Looking at this area, look for the fake out or look for the continuation. one or the other is going to happen. It's not going to sit up here. It might sit up here and consolidate a little bit, but it's going to fake out or it's going to continue. My guess is that it's going to come up, touch the London high here, probably consolidate a little bit, and then come back down. Yeah, Maddie said there was a high-low scalp that came up right here. The only problem is that it was touching the news price, so I would have sat out of after that, but we're here at the London high. All right, so we got price breaking outside of the resistance level. It's currently at the sessions right here. So keep an eye out for what's going to happen next, because the price action here is going to tell you where price is going to go. If you get a big red candle that falls back down, it's going to pull back into the range. If you get a big green candle that keeps climbing up higher, then it's probably going to keep continuing, right? So just look at how this candle here moves. Yeah, see, that's a big red candle. It's probably going to pull back into the range. Just by looking at price action, it looks pretty obvious. And there we go. As price pulls right back into the resistance. So there goes a fake out right there. You got to wait for the candle to actually close because this can easily just swing right back up. But from what I'm seeing here, this looks like possible fake out back down. So if this candle is bigger, it's an engulfing candle. And there we go there. So price came up, rejected off the sessions right there. And we'll see what happens here. I mean, this could be a double fake out. Again, just follow this area here because once this pulls back into here, you'll know that price is likely to keep dropping lower. But if price swings back up, it'll probably continue climbing up higher. It's just a matter of time until you can confirm. But we'll see what happens here. So break and retest over here of the resistance. Yeah, so you can see this red candle here didn't actually close pretty far down. It actually closed lesser than it. So you need a confirmation. I think if price pulls back into this area and closes down here, then I think it'll pull back into the range. If not, then I think price will probably just sit around here until it actually breaks above or below this point. Might just consolidate here for a second. All right, still nothing for us to take here. Now it consolidates. All right, 7-11 right now. It's getting closer and closer to 740, hoping that we get some movement here. I actually wouldn't mind if price continues climbing up. So personally, I think I'd prefer price to climb up further so that we can possibly start looking for some entries here. Because if it pulls back into the range, we're kind of just stuck in this area again, right? So for me personally, I would push for a buy here for price to push up higher. If not, that's fine. But for me personally, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Because I would like to trade away from the red flags and out in open space. And then there's also liquidity up here, like Sadie mentioned. So this is another confluence right here too. If price pushes up higher and it hits liquidity, odds of it pushing up from that point is very likely. But it looks like price is going to consolidate here for a little bit, which is fine. So for the most part, I kind of want to see like the momentum divergence here kind of play through. But the problem is that it's right at the sessions. So in order for us to have that divergence, we need price to actually climb up and be above this area up here. Not really much happening here. It's just a sideways move. So we still don't have the confirmation whether price is going to pull back into the range or if it's going to climb up. You can see our price is just going sideways. But if this candle closes as a strong red candle, I think this will probably pull back into the range. So if this here closes strong with like little to no wick on the bottom side, this might possibly, yep. So it looks like it's pulling back into the range. So this is pretty much what I was telling you guys to look out for. Just look out to see how price reacts after the fake out. So price came up here. The fake out consolidated a little bit. And now it's pulling right back into the range. All right. So, I'm fine with this. I just need price to keep dropping a little more. I think it's going to be a little overextended at this point. So this right here, price starting to shift. There's no trend for a sell yet. So I personally wouldn't take any sells just yet. I mean, if you guys want to take it, this could be, no, I wouldn't take it. Momentum didn't even close. Personally, I prefer not to close, but if it closes, that's fine. All right, so it closed right there. It's still touching the red flag, so not really too much there to work with. All right, so we got about 15 minutes till news. Again, like we said, price still has not chosen a direction. It is, it's just back into the range. So price faked out, came back into the range. It's like it never did anything. So this right here is just a fake out. It's like nothing ever happened. Price is back into this lower range right here. And I'm hoping we get something soon because it's getting closer and closer to like 7:30, 7:40. So what I'll be looking for here is I'll be looking for a possible momentum divergence. I think that's going to be the closest thing that we can probably get to an entry here. Yeah, this right here would be a breakout B3 continuation pattern, but it's like touching the news price right here. So I personally just wouldn't mess with it. And there's no trend confirmation yet either. So now it's sitting around the range. ATR is currently at 19, so there's movement, but there's just no direction. See if price comes back down to the support. So here's the thing. If price drops down lower, you can identify this as an area of liquidity off the 1 minute. So if it comes back to retest this area, it can probably push down to reach the next level below, where it didn't get to yesterday, or not yesterday, earlier today. So I think price comes back down to this area down here. It'll probably push down to the next level below further. Something to look out for. All right, so the trend here is starting to shift again a little bit. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to come down slightly, retrace up, and come back down so that we can get some sort of momentum divergence type entry. So retracement. Yeah, I'm fine with the retracement right here. I actually would like this to retrace up a little bit. So retrace up, just don't retrace up to the sessions. To the red flags up here. That's all I'm looking for right there. I'm looking for the retracement here. It doesn't have to be something crazy, just enough. Because the trend is shifting back down. All right, this thing's here a little too big, a little too big of a candle. I was hoping for a small retracement, just like a little retracement, and this here just like ended up swinging all the way back up. All right, perfect. So I want this to stay below the news price right here. I'm hoping it stays below. If it doesn't, it's fine. I mean, no biggie. But I want it to stay below. I want this to even maybe close as a red candle, maybe a smaller red candle so that the trend here can confirm. Because you can see the trend is starting to shift. It's starting to shift to the downside. Right, CJ? Yeah, CJ said the market's like, if you like you want a retracement, I'll give you a retracement. This thing retraced all the way up. All right, so this is perfect. This is kind of what I was looking for. This is fine. Kenny said from his end, the buyers are heavier than sellers, but there are more sellers than buyers. Gotcha. Okay. So the sellers might pick up here then. All right. So this is pretty much what I was looking for. Now I need this to maybe climb its way back down, or it could just consolidate here for a little bit, maybe and push up even more if it wants. But you guys can see over here that the trend is starting to shift, back down. So I'm looking for the divergence down here because there's a lot of targets down here that I'm seeing price is likely to reach, right? We have liquidity down there. Price comes back and touches this lower level of liquidity. It's probably going to keep dropping even further. So I'm looking for the divergence. It's probably not going to happen on this candle. It might happen on the next one. So if this candle closes red, doesn't have to close super red, but enough. And this is going to line up with a high-low scalp down here as well. So I'm just using my confluences. I'm using my analysis here to identify confluences. So this candle's probably going to close slightly, and then the next one will probably be the divergence. Or maybe the next one after the next one. Maybe not this one, maybe the next one after the next one. So, because the divergence there hasn't confirmed yet. I mean, this candle would have to close pretty red. $30 left. Trend isn't fully confirmed yet, but all right, so there's the confluences that I'm looking for, guys. So we're looking for a pretty nice red candle to come down. We're looking for the trend here to confirm, and then we have a lower low right here. So if price breaks past that, it's going to be a high-low scalp, and it's going to align with the momentum divergence. Okay, I actually want the buy. The buy signal would have been nice. I'm okay with the buy signal there because we could start looking for possible like breakout V3 continuation. There's even more confluences here that are lining up now. Okay, perfect. So we got the buy signal there. So I just don't want price to push past the pivots, or it can reject off the pivots, but not actually close past the pivots. Because if it closes past the pivots, the trend here is not going to confirm. But the setup here that I'm looking for is starting to set up. So we have the buy signal there. There's a couple confluences that are going to line up here. So as long as this stays below the pivots, we're going to have a bearish trend with regard to the pivots. And then if price comes back down, we'll have a sell signal. If that sell signal comes down, that'll be a pivot scalp. It'll also be a momentum scalp if the trend meter turns red. And then on top of that, we'll have a breakout V3 continuation. And then on top of that, we'll have a high-low scalp. So there's like a bunch of confluences that are lining up here for a sell. If and when they play through. But again, we just have to wait a little bit, see how these candles here close. Man, this market is so okay, so we'll see. Okay, it didn't actually close above it. And we're getting a double body right here too. So if this candle closes red, we're going to have another confluence here for a double body. Reversal pattern. The candle has to close red though, of course. So my main, the main thing that I'm looking for here is I'm trying to make sure that this here doesn't close above the pivots. It's just price action, right? It's just, I'm looking at price action here, looking at all the different confluences, different price action here. What I think here is that they're churning both buyers and sellers. So they're not really pushing price in either direction. They're trying to like line up where everybody's trading because the sentiment here hasn't changed at all. It's pretty much been flat as it's always been for today. All right, so we got that red candle right there, double body rejection. And now it's just going to consolidate right here at news price. Man, frustrating market today. Yeah, Sadie said double body everywhere. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll keep looking for entries here. I mean, if we don't find anything, I'm not going to force any entries for today. I mean, it'd be nice to take something, but if not, I'm not going to force anything. Just going to, yeah, it's getting close to news here at 7:30. So I don't think we're going to have an entry from now until then. Price might just consolidate a bit. We have some low to medium impact news coming up in a few moments, 5 minutes. It's just gas and oil change, stock change. It happens every Wednesday. Typically doesn't have a big impact on the market, but a couple months ago we did have a big impact. The gas and stock change might change. It might have an impact this month though. It's going to have an impact because of what's happening between Israel and Iran, right? They're having their little war going on the side. So that's going to have an impact on gas and oil because that's where the majority of it comes from. Yeah, Kenny said every time the opening candle is huge, then price action tends to be messy. Yeah, right after, right? Like we're getting these random big candles that just pop up out of nowhere. There's no trend right now. You guys can see the trend's kind of just shifting back and forth. All right, so our hopes for a sell pretty much have diminished. I don't think there's going to be any hopes for a sell here. We might have price swing back up for a possible buy. All right, y'all. We'll see you here tomorrow. All right, so we will continue to wait here for, I mean, I guess we'll just wait for news. Hopefully news will kind of push price around. Not expecting it to push price around at all, but we'll see if it does. If it pushes price around, then I'll look for, possible push to the upside, possible push to the downside. But let's go to our clean chart. So looking back at our clean chart, still nothing's changed. Price is still having trouble getting past the resistance. It actually rejected directly off the resistance. And now I'd be surprised if it pushes back down because it's respecting the resistance. It's just the fake out happened right here. And yeah, it looks like it's respecting the resistance perfectly. All right, we got news in 3 minutes. 3 minutes till news. Here goes that pivot scalp I was talking about earlier. Such a news price though. So I mean, if anybody's feeling risky, this is a pivot scalp that could be setting up here. I don't recommend it, but just saying it's coming up. Or not. Yeah, there's no push behind these candles. Like when you see like the candle come up, it'll initially have a nice push on open, and then it just kind of swings right back. And then who knows, maybe at the last second, I'll just swing right back down again. I'd probably stay away from the pivot scalps unless it's a really clean one. Just wait for like the confirmation, like the breakout V3 continuation. But again, there's no trend. You can see the pivots here aren't even going anywhere. They're pretty much flat, going sideways. So that sell signal did not close. Price is pretty much sitting in the range, just like we said earlier. We got the news in about a minute. Let's see, we got some profits over here from Natasha. She actually caught one trade for the day. Natasha locked in 494. Nice work, Natasha. Some solid profits right there for Natasha. Now we're just waiting for this here to kind of play out, smoothing out. All right, news in 1 minute. We got one candle till news. Let's see what they're forecasting for the news today. I mean, I don't think it's going to affect it too much. So the news here is it's not a huge jump. They're forecasting it to be a little less, but yeah, so they're forecasting a drop from 2.735 to 1.6 for oil stock change, and then for gas stock change, they're forecasting it to drop a little bit too. It's forecasted to be, or last month it was 1.154, and they're forecasting it to be negative 1.4. So I'm hoping all the news is negative and it just dumps, or all the news is positive and it just shoots up at least a little bit, enough to get out of this area. All right, we got 10 seconds till news. I'm kind of glad that it's sitting in between these red flags because I'd rather have the red flag in between everything else versus down here or up here. So we got news right here. There goes news candle. It's not doing anything, just like we expected. Yeah, there's no change. Same thing. All right, let's refresh. So the gas stock change here has not updated yet. But yeah, you can see this candle is doing literally nothing. It's actually slower than the regular candles. Still loading. Got that sell signal coming up. Still no news. All right, this is cool. So this is fine right here. We have a sell signal coming. I was hoping it'd close, but yeah, I would hope that it close here, or if not, then never mind. I wanted to close a little further. This here could set up for a possible breakout V3 continuation. The only problem here is that it is touching news price. So again, it's at a red flag. And the volatility is a little low. All right, so news is finally making its way in. It was pretty much bullish. It was actually very bullish. Okay. So the gas stock change here is super bullish. We'll see how price reacts to it. I'm not expecting price to react to it too much, but it was pretty bullish for the most part. They're forecasting it to be 1.6 mil. It was actually negative 6.36 mil, which is way better than expected. And then same with this over here for gas stocks. It was forecasted to be negative 1.4 mil. It was actually negative 600,000. But there's no volatility here. The ATR is starting to die down. This is typically why I don't trade past 740, because you can see the volatility here. ATR is dropping down to 16. It was at like 20 earlier, dropped down to 17, now 16, now 15 next. This is a breakout V3 continuation. The trend wasn't really confirmed yet, but we are pretty much looking for a sell here this whole time. So this here is setting up for a possible, or it is running a possible breakout V3 continuation. Other than that, there's not really much else here to look at. So I'll hang around for a bit longer, guys. Closer to 740, my cutoff here is 740, of course. I'll see if we can get a possible entry here, maybe a drop down, retracement, continuation, and then look for a momentum divergence to set up. But if not, then I'll probably just call it a day. These candles aren't really doing too much. I was looking for the possible high-low scalp here. Or I guess technically this could be a high-low scalp if anybody's looking for it. So that breakout V3 continuation I marked up earlier, it's still technically running. The volatility is just really low right now. Yeah, Maddie said price is still reacting to the news. So keep an eye out on the ATR, guys. If the ATR gets too low, probably a good idea to just sit out. So looking at this right here, this could be a possible high-low scalp. That might have been okay to take that too, but I didn't even see it. It just then came down at the last second. So Maddie over here actually caught it. There's probably another high-low scalp setting up over here as well. Nice work, Maddie, catching that. I'm going to look for the retracement. So I'll hang out for a little bit longer. If this here swings back up and it comes back down, we get a momentum divergence, I'll take that one. So you can see over here, it's retracing up. So I'll see if that retracement happens. Because if it retraces up, it comes back down, it could be a possible entry for a high-low scalp down here as well. So we're still waiting for it to come back and retest this lower low or this lower level down here. Hasn't happened yet. Got 3 seconds left on this candle. Yeah, Maddie also mentioned you might even get an MPS entry here. Think about that. So I was kind of hoping for the retracement, but if this thing drops further, this could be a possible high-low scalp as well. CJ said, what did Maddie catch? He got the high-low scalp from over here. All right, so I'm looking for the divergence here to probably retrace. Retrace up a little bit. I'm not going to take this high-low scalp if it closes on this candle. I'm waiting for the divergence here to swing up. She did right there, perfect. All right, so that's what I was looking for right there. We got the momentum divergence here retracing up. If it swings back down for a confirmation back down below, then I'll probably take that one. The volatility is kind of crazy right here. It's just spiking back and forth. So we got 29 seconds left on this here. All right. Yeah, exactly. CJ said the ATR is dropping. All right, so we got price coming back down here. We have the divergence retracement right there. So I'm basically just looking for this here to swing back down. Hopefully it'll line up with the high-low scalp down here. I don't want this to necessarily close just yet. I want it to close slightly above it. And then this is going to be our confluence there for the momentum divergence. Sadie said he feels lost. I know there's so much going on. There's just nothing here that's really lining up, but we'll see if this, it's kind of confusing how this, well, it's not confusing, but it was kind of interesting how the divergence, you guys saw how it like pretty much predicted that this was going to pull up. Oh, there was an MPS here. I didn't even see it. There's actually an MPS that came up right here, guys. I don't know if you guys identified it. Maddie saw it. I didn't even think to see it right there. But yeah, there was an MPS that came up right here. Price came down. The green candle retraced up. The entry would happen right here at the 80 mark. And then it went straight to its full TP right there. Yeah, Sadie said, I was looking at it, then I got lost. I know there's so much going on the chart right now. All right, the ATR is getting lower. There's not really much of a confirmation. I was hoping we get some red candles here to continue dropping lower, but it's just not setting up. So I'm looking to see if this next candle closes red. Yeah, CJ said he didn't take the MPS because the green momentum signal flashed. That's probably a good decision. So I wouldn't have taken it. So price is just consolidating now. These are the two levels here between this higher low and this lower low down here. And there's not really too much going on. The ATR is down to 15 now. It's pretty low. It's just consolidating right here. So, I mean, price has literally been in this range for the entire session. So it didn't really go anywhere. Market opened up here and it came down a little bit. And then it's just been going sideways since then. All right, let's see. So we got this coming up right here. Our high-low scalp could possibly still be setting up here or not. This candle looked good when it came down and then it swung right back up. All right, I'll wait for like two more candles. Uh, if nothing else happens here, then obviously I'm just gonna wrap it up. Yeah, Sadie said 740, it'll start going all over the place, right? So 740 right here. If this goes all over the place back up, then I'm definitely not going to. I'm not even going to entertain it. I'm only looking for a possible seller because there's no way we're going to swing back to a buy. There's so many red flags up here, and it's got to push up pretty far up for us to start looking for entries. So if it starts to confirm that price is going to be pushing up, then I'm not even going to mess with it. But if we get, the divergence down here and price maybe pushes past this lower low, then this could be a possible decent entry for a sell. All right. So I'll give it two more candles because right here you can see that the divergence is attempting to shift back down. It just doesn't have any push behind it. So I'll wait for like two more candles. If there's nothing here in two more candles, then I'm just gonna wrap it up. We got some profits over here for Maddie. Maddie locked in 579 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. All wins. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free. All right, so we might have the entry right here, guys, or not. Like I said, two more candles. If this here closes, we'll see how it closes right here. It's got to close like as a pretty strong red candle. If it does, then I'll take this here for the divergence and for the high-low scalp right here. That was a little big. All right. So this right here is the setup right there.
Order submitted.
Gotta watch it because I should wait for the next one, but I think this here might be the setup. Let's see. If this candle here closes red too, this could be pretty good. Confirmation. The candle was a little big though. So I'm watching it right here. Or I'm out, full TP. I'm out. Patience, guys. Love your patience. The patience paid off. There you go, guys. Full TP. Nice work, guys. Love your patience. All right, this today really tested our patience today, but this is exactly the entry that I was waiting for. So it did literally what I was looking for. So if you guys see here, this is like, it's textbook. I told you guys I was looking for that high-low scalp and I was looking for the confirmation of divergence, right? So the divergence setup, that was one. And then the high-low scalp that we were waiting for. This is like literally what we were looking for. And the good thing is that it came up on the same candle, right? It came up literally where we wanted it to, and it did exactly what we were waiting for. So this is what I mean about being patient and just waiting for these entries to come to you, because the entry is going to come, guys. There's so many entries that come up. If you can just sit tight and wait and not get FOMO and don't get, greed and stuff like that, the entry is going to come to you. It's just a matter of time until it does. So great work, guys. For all you guys here who caught it, looks like everyone here pretty much did with me. That right there was a high-low scalp, and it also converged with a momentum divergence. I'm going to call it a high-low scalp though, because that's kind of what we're looking for. It was just the divergence was a confluence. I'll put this here too. So let's put plus momentum divergence confluence, because it wasn't a super clean entry, but I mean, played out exactly how I wanted to. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. Let me just take a screenshot of my profits, and then I'll wrap this up. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them up. Cover them real quick before we wrap this up for the day. Yeah, I typically don't like to trade after 740, but you guys can see that sometimes entry will come up after 740. You just got to be smart about it. You can't be greedy and be dumb about it and take like stupid trades, right? You have to take only quality trades, and it has to be something that you're actually analyzing and looking for. Alrighty, so here are my profits. So our win streak continues, guys. We're currently on a 16 win streak right now with regard to my trades here on the live session. So 742 is the entry time. Let me take a copy of that real quick. I'll just update the spreadsheet as we go. So 742, 424, 24 for a sell was a win, 10 points. High-low scalp. There we go. So we're on a pretty heavy win streak right now, guys, as you guys can see from the we clawed our way right back up, guys. So you guys can see over here, we like literally clawed our way back up. So we came over here from, yeah, we were like having some losses over here from the BB3, and then we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 back-to-back wins right now for the month of April. Let's see. Madhu's asking if that would be a high-low. Yeah, actually, this would be. So a high-low V2. This would be a high-low V2 right here, because price broke and closed below it. It came back above it right here. Your entry would be just pending right there for it to come back down, and then it shot right down below. Someone asked about that yesterday, about the high-low V2. I don't know if you asked it. Was that you, Sadie? I remember somebody asked about it yesterday, but it was like a different strategy. The high-low scalp and the high-low V2 are slightly different. The high-low, you're basically looking for the break and close. For the high-low scalp V2, you're looking for price to fake out. So you're looking for price to come down, come up for the fake out, and then swing right back below. So yeah, if you guys are looking for the high-low V2, this would be an entry. It typically happens right after a high-low. So if you're too scared to take a high-low, just wait for the V2, and it usually plays through. And that's exactly what happened here. So nice work, guys, on catching your entries for the day. Here are my profits for the day. So I guess I could add up my profits real quick before we get off here. Let's take a look at everybody's profits so far. So we got Jonathan here, total profit of 400 per account. He has 4 accounts here, so we're going to say 1,200 for the day, 1,200. Nice work, Jonathan. We got actually 1,600. My bad. My math sucks. You got 1,600 for the day. We have Maria over here. She locked in a total profit of about 200 per account. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts, so about 1,000 for the day. Nice work, Maria. We got Nikki here. She locked in a total profit of 2,200 for the day. Nice work, Nikki. We got Casey here, total profit of 569. Nice work, Casey. And of course, we have my profits over here. So for my profits for the day, I locked in, let's do the math real quick. So 800 times 19 plus 700 plus 270. So I locked in 16,170 for the day. And for the week so far, I'm currently at 1854. I'm so glad that these profits are coming out even now. The math isn't as hard. Okay, so that plus 1954 plus 697. All right. So let me add this up real quick, or let me just put this in. So for the day so far, I'm up 16,170 for the day, and then plus 37,877 for the week. All right, there we go. Solid. Super solid profits for the day. Patience paid off, and it did exactly what we were looking for. Thanks, Sadie. Yeah, I know. It's solid. Just being patient, catching these entries. This is a key thing. Like, this is what makes our trading different from a lot of other people, is that we really just wait for these entries to come to us, right? A lot of people try to predict where price is going to go, and they make mistakes. That happens. That's why it's better to just wait for price to come to you than to kind of predict like, oh, price is going to come down, so I'm going to enter up here. Yeah, you might get lucky, you might get that move, but a lot of times, your guess might be wrong, and it can put you in a tight position. So, yeah, definitely, guys. I'll keep posting my daily and weekly profits so that you guys can see. Like, this is just motivation for you guys. It's not for me to show off because I do this every day. It's not like this is brand new. I've been doing this for years. This is just to show you guys, if you guys can be patient and just wait for those, one good entry a day or two good entries a day, your profits will add up, especially if you have multiple accounts. So that's my motivation to you guys there for the day. CJ said, I guess the summer market came early. Yeah, I know, it seems like it, right? This is typically how the market moves in the summer. So like in the summer, we might have like one or two entries a day. We might have no entries a day. Like today, we almost had zero entries, but thankfully I waited on a little longer, and it played out exactly how we waited for it to. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any more profits, feel free to post them up. We got some more profits here from Delicia. Delicia locked in 1,600 per account. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts. We're going to say well over 8,000 for the day. All wins here. And I think those are all the profits that have been posted so far. So if you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. I'll post them up on the social media later today. Otherwise, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys, if you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys then. So, all right, guys, have a great